Shut up.
From the depths of the internet, a podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. With their witty banter and infectious glee, they've captured hearts, you see. They're more than just smokers, they're a family, united by cigars, a brotherhood free. Invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. They've got the knowledge, the passion, the flair, a podcast powerhouse beyond compare. So light up a stogie and join the affair. The Cigar Loons are always there. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail.
What up? Hello, everyone, and welcome. And of course, light them up and settle in. I'm Gaz, and you're listening to the Cigar Loons Podcast, the only place where the smoke is thick and the opinions are thicker. And I'm joined, as always, by my fellow co-hosts, the legendary Grumpy and the one and only Matthew. And tonight we're joined by Kingpin from Boss Talks on the Rooftop, and we're joined by Mike from Distinguished Gentleman, My Ash. So welcome, brothers, to the podcast.
I still like that. I don't care what they say.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah.
What are they saying, bro?
I don't know. I mean, yeah. Distinguished Gentleman, My Ash. I like that.
That's it.
I don't care who done it. I like that. That was nice. He did well done.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well done. Better put that down.
So we're going to get into it. We're going to cut them. We're going to line
That's
them.
not for.
Of course, we're going to get
That's not for
into
you
it.
and
Like
Loud.
I say, we're going to go around the board on what cigars we are smoking tonight on the podcast. And welcome to everyone on YouTube and Rumble and also on Instagram. And thank you for joining us tonight. I've had the pleasure, of course, of talking to Mike now for the last couple of weeks over on TikTok. And we've become friends. And I thought, you know what? Let's bring him on tonight so we can see what he's smoking, because Mike's a newer cigar smoker. And then I've been talking, of course, to Kingpin over the last couple of weeks as well. And Kingpin's like, brother, can I come on? I'm like, yeah, come on. Come and hang with us. The Kingpin's coming along tonight. And, of course, we'll be getting into what Kingpin's about and what his show's about and what he does and stuff. But first things first, what are we all lighting up tonight and what are we smoking? So, Grump, go down the board.
Well, I had strongly considered finishing up this Philly Titan.
Oh boy.
Now, But we got friends and guests, so I had to break out the boozy cigar, Fugazi, cigar
Uh-huh.
of the year series. This one is the one you compare to the aging room, Cuatro
What?
Nicaragua. So that's what we're having here on the porch.
Nice.
Yes,
I've got the
it's pretty
original
good.
sitting in the humidor, and I was going to pull it out, and I'm like, no, I'll go with the
Here we go.
blackened. Oh, fuck off, Grump!
Shock
Don't you
of all
start me.
shocks.
Matthew.
What the fuck?
Yep.
All right. I am smoking JC Newman Yagua.
Oh,
Of course, we all know about this
Cool.
cigar. It's bunched. It's wrapped in under fermented Connecticut broadleaf wrapper, and then smashed together with a banana leaf, and then aged for another year altogether.
It's not a banana leaf.
and it has
It's
What
not a
is it
banana.
then?
It's not a banana leaf.
It's not
It's
a
the
tobacco
Cuban
leaf.
tobacco. It's a Cuban tobacco leaf that it's smashed with.
It is
not
not
a
a
banana
Cuban
leaf.
tobacco leaf.
It's not a banana leaf. It isn't. Research.
Chill,
It's not a
chill,
banana
Jake.
leaf. It isn't.
I'm looking it up right now. I'm on their site.
It's not.
Oh, it's
not
a
a banana
fucking
leaf.
palm leaf.
Woohoo!
Palm leaf. It's not a tobacco leaf. I know it's not a tobacco leaf.
Florida and Hawaii, we win.
It's not a fucking banana bastard leaf either.
It's a palm
You-
leaf.
You said
I just
fucking
fucking
banana
said it.
bastard leaf.
And then I corrected it, you dumb shit.
But of
See,
course,
this is why we
I
don't
to
get
everyone
nowhere.
that-
We love
I
everybody.
to Boss Dog. I to, of course, Emmanuel Boss 19 there on Instagram. Welcome to all the
Yeah.
sisters that are watching. So Lips and Sticks, of course, Cigar
Oh.
Meds. Jen,
Sorry, I didn't
of
comb
course,
my
Cigar
hair. I didn't know
Meds.
we was having
So,
sisters watching.
thank you to all of you watching.
I would have
So, of
straightened up.
course, Mike, what have you pulled out tonight, my brother? And what are you going
I pulled out the Camacho before Davidoff purchased him. This was given to me by Marcus. He was raving about it.
Yep.
That time I never had one. At least I didn't think I did. And now he's sent me a couple of them. That's what I got. So this is pre Davidoff era here.
Oh,
Yep.
uh-huh.
Original Camacho factory. Original
Yeah.
Camacho, of course, tobacco.
That might be a
Nice.
real one.
Yep. Kingpin, what have you pulled out, my brother, tonight? What are you smoking?
Well, I started out with SP 1014. It's the one with the red band with Chico Rivas.
Oh,
Nice.
Yep.
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, Mike, you have to stick around with, there's an inside, we got this inside, kind of an inside joke thing about that whole, is it real or is it fake thing?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
I'm sure he's in
So-
a Facebook group. He knows.
Yeah, he's probably in that same Facebook group. The question
think-
usually comes up surrounding a Cohiba Bahiki, but it always asks the question: is it real or is it fake? So,
And it's
we always
fake.
yeah, and we always that's what when we say is it real or fake? That's what we're cracking a joke about our favorite Facebook page.
And tonight
And
I
their
pulled out, of
endless
course,
debate. The endless
the
debate.
Drew Estate blackened in a Toro, so that's what I put out, and of course it's blackened M81 Maduro to the core, my normal favorite cigar. But like I say, welcome to you guys for coming on. And what I want to do is, for everyone who doesn't know, of course, about you, Mike, and what Distinguished Gentleman my ash is, give everybody a breakdown to who you are, my brother, and what you're doing on social media, and give everyone a breakdown of who you are.
Yeah.
Again, my name is Mike. I live in South Florida. I've been smoking probably 18 plus years. But I was just smoking as a pastime, like everyone else was doing when you're picking it up. And then, it having family and friends over, you start smoking a little bit more, and you start exchanging stories and history about a lot of the things. And people were telling me I need to get on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram and start sharing my experiences with everybody. And I was like, kind of toyed around with it. So then in January, I told myself I'm going to do it. I said, why not? Just go on there, post pictures. Because I got a good collection of ashtrays, cutters, lighters, things like that. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do it. Why not? What's worst that can happen? No one will say, no, I don't like your pictures. And then, I'll go cry in the corner for a little bit. But it didn't happen that way. Actually, the love and fan base we're getting out of it was very appreciated. And that kind of made you want to do it more and more. When you see that momentum going, that's what you want to keep going. So it took me a little while to think of a name. And I was watching the movie Eddie Murphy, Distinguished Gentleman, My Ass. And I said, that's it, Ash. And my wife looked at me and she goes, what are you talking about? I said, Ash. I
just got my name.
I said, I can just take Distinguished Gentleman, My Ash. And she just looked at me. And then she said it a couple times too. And she goes, you know what? That is a great, that's a cool name because, you're thinking about it and you're reading it and you're coming off with it. And she goes, the play on word and everything. I said, there you go. That's it. So,
yeah.
And like I said, it's been great meeting everybody on here before. And again, thank you for having me. And it's been fun. I mean, this journey as I'm on right now has been great. So I'm hoping to keep going and keep going through.
Well, if you've got a following picked up and running like that, I need to find out where you're hanging out because, it's kind of Deadsville. Deadsville where I put my stuff out at.
Anytime.
Just kidding, man. Just kidding. But yeah, you couldn't have stepped on a bigger landmine, than you did with titling that thing, man. That was just spot on right there. Boom.
I appreciate it.
Yeah, you did well with that. You did well.
Of course, we'll go over to Kingpin, of course, and me and Kingpin have got this kind of relationship where we're not gay or anything, but Kingpin likes my voice. And he's really fallen in love with the English accent. It's a bromance.
It's a bromance, man.
So, my brother, of course, tell everybody about Kingpin and everyone about Boss Talks on the Rooftop, my brother. And tell everyone about what you are as well, my brother, and what you do. So,
Kingpin Luxury is a cigar accessory line that got started because I started doing Boss Talks on the Rooftop. Boss Talks on the Rooftop got started because I asked a question and the answer pissed me off. And so when I get mad, I get motivated. So if you ever see me get mad and I'm laser focused on something.
I love that.
The way, because I have a tax business, I have a roof business, I do real estate. So the Kingpin moniker was like to encompass everything umbrella, right? So it's a boss that has his hands in multiple things, and we always put it in a negative connotation. But I was just like, that's luxury is kind of cool. So that's the name stuck, and now everybody calls me Kingpin. They're like, we always thought of it that way, but now that you just own it, it's like, all right, well, I'll take it. Yeah. And when I started the roofing business, I asked my uncle to be a mentor to me in the roofing industry. I didn't know he was in the roofing for over 30 years. So I asked him to be a mentor to me. He was like, all right, sure. Now, he ate my ass alive on my first client because he told me, hey, get your first client, right? And so all he left me with was $400. And I was like, God damn, man, this is going to my phone bill. And I said, you've been making this kind of money for over 30 years? And he said, yeah. I said, how come you never said nothing? And he said, you never had. And so that answer made me so mad. It made me so damn mad, but I couldn't do nothing but respect it. One, he's my uncle. And two, he was right. And then I sat there and thought, like, okay, well, how many people don't know who to ask, what to ask, when to ask? the question they're looking for a way to create their new wave.
Exactly.
So Boss Talks on Rooftop is where bosses talk and we expose their rooftop moments. We experience their rooftop. So I talked to CEOs from yay high to how high. We talked to politicians, just asking questions about how they got started, what motivated them in their lane. And we all do it over the leaf because, I sit down and I smoke cigars. I'm a cigar smoker.
Mm-hmm.
So, I took everything that I am, what I do, put it into the show, and we've been rocking ever since.
I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
That's great.
So,
There's so many people that are
we'll come
afraid
back-
to ask the question.
Yeah.
So what you're doing
Yeah,
is
that's true.
important. I like that.
Yeah. But Mike, of course, with you now getting back into it, of course, going on TikTok, of course, uploading on Instagram, what cigars have stood out to you that you've smoked? That if a new cigar smoker was to come to you and say, right, Mike, suggest a cigar for me, what would be the cigar that you would suggest to someone that stood out to you to go and try?
Well, I love the Man of War series, so I would tell them if they're a beginner, Virtue. It's a lighter cigar. It's got a little bit of pepper to it, but it's not overbearing and it won't overpower them. I think the biggest challenge is sometimes when you give somebody such a strong cigar in the beginning, it deters them. It runs them off. Maybe when you're younger and you're like an uncle, thing, you're teasing them a little bit. You give them something strong, they say, "Ah, it's gonna put hair on your chest," But if you're trying to bring them in the fold, and you want to educate them and bring them along on that journey with you, give them a light cigar. Let them enjoy it. Let them figure out something, especially something that you like. Yeah, like I said, I'm a big fan of the Man of War series. I like every stick that they had, and that's what I would do.
Cool, good pick,
I
Matthew.
like that.
I know, of course, you're a Man of War fan. Would you go and choose the same? Would you go and choose that same for a new cigar smoker?
Well, I'm not a big fan of the Virtue. But mostly because I really don't like mild cigars. But the one mild cigar that Man of War has that I do like is the Valkyrie, which is it's a Churchill, so it's longer. It's similar to the Virtue in that it's a Connecticut and it's a little bit lighter, but it just has a little bit more character in my opinion. So I probably would suggest that. But I mean, like the first cigar I ever smoked was a Perdomo Sungrown. So like I like
Do you like me Sungrown?
spice, you know what I mean? So
Yeah. So Kingpin, same question to you, my brother. Of course, were you smoking for a bit? And if someone was to come to you, what would be the cigar you suggest him to go and try? What stood out to you for a new cigar smoker to go and try?
Man, if they're starting out, I give them a Fat Bottom Betty. You know what I'm saying? Like
classic.
No, there's nothing wrong with that.
If they're starting out, you know what I mean? Because like I can't start them where I'm at because I can smoke anything, right?
Right.
I have my preference, of course, but like I can smoke with the best.
Right.
So there's like if they're coming into it, I want to get them started on really good tobacco and like help them get into understanding like the nuances of flavor, right? So most people they come from either a flavored Swisher Sweets or Dutch or whatever, or they're not used to smoking a cigar and they're trying to figure out why do you smoke a cigar, and you're telling them, oh, they're the flavors that I get from smoking a cigar, they're trying to taste like the wrapper. So in order to bypass that, I just go ahead, hey, like the tip is sweet, but this is to get you used to like having an understanding of string and going into a flavor of tobacco, not because like I can't start like infused flavors. I'm not a fan of it. There's a market for it, but I'm not a fan of it. But you know, if it's a sweet tip where they're using that sweet adhesive, that sweet gum cap, sure, we'll that'll be your entry point, and then I can bring you along faster into like going into like a Sumatra or a San Andreas, or going into Maduro and knowing like what is a Maduro, what is a Habano, what is a Connecticut, and like, you know, being able to experience that journey with them as they're growing and they're learning along the way, then, you know, they can be like, yeah. So, but it also speeds up that process. Like, all right, bro, you can't pull out this acid in front of me, or you can't pull out this Tatiana and think that we're doing the same thing. That's not it, because then your expectation for every other cigar you smoke is gonna be that. So I don't want to set that precedent. I want to set them on tobacco. Right. This is how we doing it. But you know, to each his own. But if I'm starting you out, you're going Fat Bottom Betty.
Yep. Grump, what would you start somebody out with? Someone came to you now after watching on the Cigar Loons podcast, and they went, Grumpo, give me a cigar to start with, my brother. What would you say to him?
601 Napalm, right?
What are you going to suggest?
Yeah, buddy.
Fucking no way. No way, 601 Napalm. Holy shit. Jeez,
that'd be my first offer right out of the gate. 601 Napalm.
You want them to leave you alone forever.
I don't want to give nobody no more advice. Never ever. Don't ever ask me another question. No, if there's actually, you know, there's actually several. That Macanudo, what was that, Cafe?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it's called?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Cafe.
That's a very mellow start if you're not trying to scare somebody off.
Sure.
Of course, I hear a lot of people brag about that Perdomo champagne.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've never had that one actually that I can ever recall, so I couldn't speak to that. But
I know what I'm getting
and I've even
Christmas.
I've even had some very basic now. Trader Jack's Sunrise, if you like something that's not like fully infused, but it has like a good island vibe to it. Yeah, that Trader Jack's Sunrise for that. But yeah, there's several out there. I mean, you know, like you said, you don't want to scare them off. You want to at least tweak their interest enough to, you know, get them to come back and try again, even if you don't quite hit it that first time. I mean, that's why there's so many out there.
Yeah.
You know, that it's like same way with any, you know. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I think when I went, of course, the Cigars and Stories, like I said to you and Matthew with Daz, and there's some new cigar makers there. They were like, "What would you suggest, Gaz, as a cigar?" And the first one that came to me head was, of course, Caldwell with Eastern Standard. I said, why didn't you try the Eastern Standard? I said, it's not your typical Connecticut. I said, it's got nice little bit of spice. I said, it's rounded. I said, and it's not a bad entry cigar to smoke. And one of the guys turned around 2 weeks later and texted me personally. He goes, brother, he goes, thank you for that recommendation. He goes, I really like that cigar. So that would be one that I'd suggest to somebody. And this is the thing. There's so many out there that we could suggest. By the time you've got it, you'd be like Mike with how many pages now, Mike, on your phone with different cigars and brothers that we've been talking about for the last couple of weeks?
I had up to, and I'll give you that correct number. I want to say it was like almost 50 names by now. And it probably would have been more if I put X and then a multiplier number to it, because once we started talking and everybody else started saying what they were saying, the number just started. I couldn't write fast enough. I'm trying to, but I was like, slow down, repeat that.
Yeah,
nice.
So many, and of course, I think it was 2 nights ago when I was on with Mike and I was on with Kingpin, and we were joined, of course, by Lorna. Mm-hmm. The amount of companies that were mentioned that night, it was like I was learning other companies that I haven't tried, and when I sat and I'm like, dang, that's more companies that we can add to the list. And it's just crazy because when you get talking to different people, they'll tell you about a company that you don't probably know, and you'll probably tell them about a company that you don't know. So, of course, Kingpin, I can get back down to you on this one, Roy. I've heard a rumor that you're going PCA, aren't you, this year?
Yeah, I'm going to PCA. I'll be in the
So
building.
how do you find PCA? How do you find PCA when you're going, bro? Because we've heard different things, and it's hard on the boutique cigar companies because they're out in the way. They're near enough at the food court or the exits. They don't really get seen. The legacy brands are more pushed at the front, and you see them more. How do you feel about that when you walk? Is it a case of that, or is it a case of you've got to go around the whole stadium to go and check out the different brands that are there?
Well, for me, right, my very first PCA was 2024. My brother at Houston Cigar Week, one of the founders, he said, "Hey man, if you're serious about the cigar industry, you'll be at PCA." At the time, I didn't know what the hell it was, so so I didn't know what to expect. It was in Las Vegas, and I was like, "Well, shit, I'll go to Vegas." And man, when I tell you, it can be overwhelming. It can be overwhelming because there's so much all at once, and then you don't know where to start. For boutique brands, right? They don't have the large budgets to build these monumentous like shrines and these makeshift cigar lounges that they have. It's pretty wild, but what I think the missing part is they don't go in with a real game plan to be seen.
Yep.
PCA is the most concentrated part of the cigar industry, where if you're in the industry, people of the who's who are going to be there. If you don't know them, you're going to run right into them, and then you need to ask the question. Ask who you are, what you do. They have a badge, you know what I'm saying? So for boutiques, when they're telling me that it's hard for them, it kind of rubs me the wrong way, because it's like, I didn't know anybody from a can of paint. All I did was walk up and talk to them. So if you're not doing that, then you're wasting your money. So even like push come to shove, you're wasting your money, you're wasting your opportunity, because like I said, if it was just even a tent outside, how many people are you talking to?
Right.
Who are you engaging with? Like it really has to be on you to be seen, because like PCA is already set up a platform for you to launch yourself on, and people gonna go to the mainstays, the Padrones, the Davidoffs, the Perdomos, the Fuentes, they know those brands. They're gonna walk to those brands if they've been in the game a long time. They've already placed their orders. Now they're just going over there and talking to each other, because they've been around doing business with each other for a minute.
Yep.
So if you're new to the game, you got to get out here. You got to talk. You got to get out of yourself. You got to talk to people and figure out who's who and navigate your path. Like, you know how we like to say, find your tribe. Find your tribe of entrepreneurs that are in this industry,
right?
You want to do business with.
Yeah.
And so that's why when I hear boutique brands say, it's hard for visibility. You got guys like me. You got guys like Mike. You got this whole panel here that attend PCA. Are you talking to us? Are you pushing us off because we're not lounge owners or retailers, so to say? I'm a consumer. I buy sticks, and then I'm coming to you and asking you to interview, and you're like, not right now. or hold off. It's like, well, all right.
or
That's
See
your
you
chance to
later.
leave a lasting impression for me to speak on your brand, and then
Yeah.
for me to be like, oh yeah, the owner of this brand is dope. He's cool. I would support him because people buy from people that they like.
Right.
Yeah. And then you have those that tell you, what, when you get bigger, call me back.
Yeah.
And I mean that's real because
That's cold, but it happens.
So I mean, there's levels to it, but at least they talk to you and let you know wwhere they stand.
Yeah,
that's true.
You know,
like you'd rather hear it to your face than to your back, right?
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Because think about it like this: if my minimum order is 5,000 cigars, and you can only afford 1,000, bro, what are we talking about? I'm not going to lower my standard because this is my operating. I have big bills. I don't have little bills.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's when it comes to cigar business or just doing business, period, you got to know what's on someone's sheet of paper to really like have a conversation.
Right.
So when people are like, hey, they want this kind of minimum, well, okay, get your weight up.
Yeah. You know something, that's great what you just said there, Kingpin. It is, and like I say, I appreciate that, bro, because it puts it into perspective with people. And this is the thing, asking different people that have been, like yourself, and of course asking the companies when we've had the companies on, they tell us their impression. And this is the great thing of hearing because, like we say, you've seen it, you're going again this year. And this is the thing. Now, Mike, of course, you haven't been PCA yet.
No.
But is that a dream of yours to go the Premium Cigar Association?
Yeah. The more I hear about it, the more I hear about it, the excitement you guys are building up for me wanting to go, just to experience it, to see everything that they have, to see some of the new cigars they're going to be offering people, being able to network. I don't mind having to talk to individuals, especially because I'm still in that learning and ask question stage. So I'm trying to absorb as much as that in. And that's one of the good things about, like I said, getting on here is there's a lot of people that want to share all their information. So, but building that network, building that chemistry with somebody that you can reach out to them, constantly say, hey, did you have this? What do you think about this? What's going on with that? And just getting all that information and knowledge and coming from everybody. And it's been great. So yeah, I definitely want to I'm thinking about going.
Yeah, I just want to put a shout out to Medri Thierry Cigars. So Medri Thierry's have been watching over on Instagram, and we do appreciate everyone that watches. So out to them. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna shut up a little bit, and I'm gonna let Grumpy and Matthew ask you some questions, Kingpin and Mike. So, Grump, we'll go up to you, the resident conspiracy theorist and miserable old bastard sitting in his corner. That's why you called a grumpy old fucker. So I'm gonna go with you, my brother. Start you off.
See, they treat me so well around here. Yeah, guys, I'm glad y'all.
I'm nice.
Yeah, well, I'm just glad y'all took a chance on stopping in here. Most folks aren't that brave, but because we're liable to ask somebody anything. You never know. But
thin line between stupidity and bravery.
I'm here for
looks like a instead of it being on that razor blade edge, it looks more like a BB on a 4-lane highway.
There you go.
And it's all over. But no, really, guys. And y'all, I don't care who takes it first, but just, what was it that really, what was it that really caused it to click and kick in? That you may be on to something, and that really got you digging into it, and it has, of course, ended both of you up where you're at now. But how did that get started, for you guys?
Want to go first, King? Want me to go?
I'll let you take it, Mike, because I'm a little long-winded.
Like I said, it was just common talking to individuals, having people coming over and smoking cigars or popping in a couple of lounges and things like that. And just that experience, somebody would do something. I'm like, oh, no, you got to try it this way. And then seeing their eyes light up, because they've been cutting it the wrong way, or every time they cut it, they cut off the cap, or, or when they're toasting the cigar, the flame is too close and they're burning it, or it's canoeing on them, or, they're bringing sticks over and they don't know how to sit them in the humidor right. Like little small things that we take for granted because we've been doing it so long. But you get the new people coming in, they're like, oh, well, I was told you're supposed to like soak the whole thing, with distilled water and all that stuff. And I'm like, no, you don't want to do all that. You got to, but you don't want to scare them and say something negative about it too, because, we've all made mistakes at one point in our life. We're like, no, take it slow. Don't start with a huge humidor at first because it's an expensive hobby. You might get into it and you get such a big unit and then you don't even like it. And then you're calling me if I want to buy, and I'm saying, I want to buy it for a discount. It's used, right? It's used. I want to put a discount price. I know how you treated it before I come and buy it. So
really,
but getting those things when you're sitting there enjoying it. And then, like I said, I just went on a limb. Everybody was telling me, go ahead and try it. And I was like, let me throw a couple pictures on there. And the pictures started taking off and I started getting followers. And I said, let me throw a couple more on there. And then it was, they just kept going up from that way. So I was like, so there is somebody out there that likes my stuff. There is somebody that's out there that wants to do it. And then, when I got my first, it was like my first 1,000, I was able to finally go live because I started in 2026. So it moved the number up to that. So when I was going on, doing that first 30 minutes, it was just me, music, my drink, and the camera rolling, and I was like, oh, I can do this 30 minutes. And I started smoking and I was just talking, just keeping it going. And I looked down, it was like 2 minutes went by. I was like, damn, 30 minutes, this is a little long. We don't got somebody to back to, got the music. And then I just kept going. I was going on every day, sometimes twice a day, just to build up the algorithm and see who was doing it. And then luckily I started getting people jumping on because I guess they saw me. Oh, yeah, I saw you on the other night, or yeah, I saw you going on the last couple of days, and I guess they're seeing if I'm serious about it or not, because like anything else, you don't want to jump onto something and the ride's short. Some people like the long ride, and I'm trying to, provide everybody that opportunity to come on, anybody at any time. I'm still, like I said, I'm still starting out too. So I want the boutiques and the legacy, everybody is open for them. I like to come on and learn and just shoot the shit.
Good. What about you, Kingpin?
Well, for me, Boss Talks on the Rooftop came first, right? I was a cigar smoker before the podcast. So I didn't really start learning the nuances of it until I really started ingratiating myself into the community and then into the camaraderie of everything. And so Boss Talks on the Rooftop was to help rebrand my roofing business, right? So whenever you see Boss Talks on the Rooftop, I'm on the roof. He's a roofer. So that's that was my whole thought process. Then we started Kingpin Luxury because we needed a product on camera. And when I started Kingpin Luxury, I was like, okay, so we need to get in the lounges. Okay, so shout out to D&B, Cigar Lounge, and El Fuego, all their lounges. They were my first two lounges that actually took on me as a product, as an accessory. And then I was like, okay, well now we got the product moving. How do we move more of it? And I started doing the cigar weeks, and I sent out a message to Houston Cigar Week, and they hit me right away. and then they were like, "Hey, when you wanna do it and have us on the show?" I was like, "When can you be here, or do you want me to come to you?" And they were like, "Well, we got a meeting this time, this and this. We ready." So I drove down there to them, met with them, told them what I was doing, and they were like, "All right, cool, bet. We'll see you in a little bit." I didn't know what that meant because You know,
Yeah.
like the next
Yeah.
3 days, they came to Dallas and shot their episode, and I was just like, oh shit. Well, if it's that easy, okay, I'm just keep asking questions. Cool. If I find an interest, I'm a ask. You say no, you say no. No sweat off of my back. But the one and they were and Saran was the one that told me, like, if you were serious, you'll be at PCA. If you're serious about this cigar industry, you'll be at PCA. And I ain't like how you called me out on my own goddamn show. So when I get angry, I get motivated. So I gotta put it on the table. Like, hey, what?
I love it.
So I ended up at PCA, and I'm awestricken. I'm like, God damn, I didn't know there's this many cigar brands, and it was like this, and there's these things, there's the humidors, there's the cutters and torches, there's the butane. Butane really matters. What type of butane you put in? I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
But what really just sealed the deal for me was Jorge Padron. At that time, they were doing a tribute because they were re-releasing the 1926, and Jorge Padron cleared his sales floor and said, "Hey, I got to talk to this guy." I didn't have an appointment to interview. I was just doing nomadic interviews with my iPhone, and just walking around seeing what happens. And Jorge Padron cleared his show, cleared his sales floor, and sat down with me for a whole 15, 20 minutes doing the interview, and then sat down with me for another 30 minutes just talking to me and shooting the shit and just getting to know who I was. And when I'm sitting there like, okay, well, he is the CEO of this legacy brand, this big time brand that they just did a tribute to his whole family and father. He gifted me one of the little hammer lapels that he only gave to his family members and sales team. And it was like, yeah, I want you to have this. That right there sparked the light. Oh, I belong.
Yeah.
This is where I belong.
Yeah.
I can maneuver in this space any kind of way. Don't be an asshole, and people will be cool. Like, and that's kind of like how the cigar lounge is. If you're an asshole, like, people are like,
yeah, right,
yeah,
get out of here. You know what I mean? But
yeah,
Jorge Patron really sitting down and interviewing with me, and Houston Cigar Week, like, really sitting down and interviewing with me, like, going out of their way to do it. And I'm very appreciative of time, because time we can't get back. This time we're spending on this show, we're never gonna get this shit back, no matter how many times we rewatch it.
No.
Money we make, money we burn, it comes and goes. We replant leaves and smoke them. But our time, so I'm very thankful and appreciative of everybody's time that comes and sits down with me. And Cigar Loon Gas, Rump, man, hey, Mike, I appreciate you guys. Like,
man,
I appreciate your time so much. That I want to make sure that it's you know how much it's valued to me if you don't value it yourself, but I value your time.
Oh no, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, but yeah, that's excellent. Matthew, shoot something at these gentlemen. Pick that brain.
Told you I'd be long.
No, we like that.
Yeah, we like that, man. We love it. We like to get it out there.
Definitely better than a yes or no answer. We don't like yes or no answers. So, we all have our favorite sticks, favorite blenders, favorite brands, or whatever. Obviously, Mike, you like Man of War. What is your favorite, go-to when you want to smoke something that you know you're going to enjoy no matter what day it is? What's your stick you're grabbing?
Woo. That's a really good question. CAO, sorry, 660 flathead.
That is a fantastic,
Mm-hmm.
just all around
That is a
nice,
good one.
nice cigar, great value. Love that answer. Kingpin, same to you.
Yeah, man.
Ooh, shit.
That's how I felt.
He had some time to think about it though.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, man, my cigar is Definition's Conception. Definition's Conception has like this Ometepe blend with I want to say it's a Corojo wrapper. It's Nicaraguan, but like it's how I conceive a lot of my thoughts, my ideas.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very strategic stick for me. And what annoys the fuck out of me about it is that he only releases it every September. So once it's gone, it's gone. But it's a blessing that he's in Dallas, so I get like first dibs of it. So I'm like, all right, bro. You know what I'm talking
Yeah.
What's it called again?
Conception. It's the Burgundy brand, the Burgundy band.
Okay.
You know, I had that down on my list because you brought that up several other times. You know that, right?
Hey, that's
Yeah.
that is my stick.
Because
Yeah.
I had to double check my list to make sure I had it on there, and I was like, yeah, I got it on there. He didn't sneak that one in on me.
Hey,
Already ahead of him.
my stick, bro. Like the
Well,
owner,
now I gotta.
will tell you, like, yeah, I know what he likes to smoke.
Well, that's on my list now. I never even heard of that one.
Mhm.
We don't get a ton of like really interesting cigars in the lounges and cigar shops in Cleveland area for some reason. So I tend to have a lot of what I find easily either online or brands that we have on, and we find like a real big fan of Madre Tierra Corojo right now. It's like
but we were
a cigar
talking about this, Matthew. I was talking to this about yesterday with Mike, and Mike said he went into his local lounge yesterday, went to go and get Banff cigars. Sorry, we ain't got Banff cigars. Went in to get drunk chicken.
Yeah.
We ain't got drunk chicken.
Yeah.
And there's Kingpin showing the cigar of what it is, Matthew, for you. So there you
Oh,
can
fuck
see.
yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yes, that's nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I've seen that. I've seen that. Now that
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah.
I've seen it around. I've seen pictures of it. I've never seen it in a place where I can buy it.
And
Awesome.
the craziest part about it, I'm not even a box press fan.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't
Well,
like the way it
about that
fits
a
in my
couple of times. You
hands.
said you didn't like it. That's right, the box press.
I'm not a box press fan. It's not my jam. But like
Right.
flavor, like for me.
Yeah,
me,
sometimes
like,
all that matters
this
is the smoking
this is
experience
my
you're getting.
stick. Say it again.
Sometimes all that matters is the experience you get out of a cigar, regardless of how you thought it was going to go when you first grabbed it. I've been surprised by a lot of cigars, especially with doing this podcast and having these people come on. We get brands that we never heard of, that really impress us, and it's like,
Well,
man,
we do a podcast. I thought we were just shooting the shit. I didn't know we did the podcast.
Some people tell us we do anyway.
Well, we do a podcast.
But
Huh?
I'm just gonna keep ignoring the grizzly bear over there.
Yeah. Sometimes you got to.
So we, as far as like my go-to daily stick, there's like two for me, and I'll just put it out there because I put out the question and I don't want to make anybody feel like I singled them out.
I was going to ask you. You asked us the question, but you're not answering it yourself. Don't dodge it.
No.
Yeah.
No, so I love Diesel, which is another AJ brand.
Yes. Yep.
So basically, Diesel Unlimited or the Vintage Natural, those two are always around.
or anything AJ Fernandez, because he's a big AJ
Yeah.
Fernandez
Anything
fan.
AJ Fernandez,
Anything AJ
yes, you're
Bundy.
right.
That's the easy way
He's
to
right.
say that.
My heart is already, my shirt's already going like this because I didn't know I had so
Yeah.
many AJs in my humidor until I started turning the label upside down and reading the back.
Yeah,
I was always looking
it's
at the front,
crazy.
and then I started reading the back. I said, "Oh shit! No wonder why I like this."
Yeah, I started going through and started, getting all these cigars off of a certain website, and because I got to bid on them and got them at good prices.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So I was getting all these cigars, and I started looking into each one as I'm getting them, and it's like, oh, this is AJ, this is AJ, this is AJ. Apparently, I like AJ. So
Apparently.
yeah, man, Man of War, Ave Maria, Diesel. Those are like, there's always some of that in my humidor. So yeah, I mean that's my answer. Grumpy, do you have an answer for what your go-to cigar is?
Man, my go-to is what fits in the budget, but
Which is fine, man.
yeah. But now, if I could have a nice little daily cigar, that if I wanted to enjoy one every day, no sweat. One of the favorites I would pick would probably be that Nica Rustica.
Mm.
The
broadleaf.
blue or the yellow?
The darker, the broadleaf.
The broadleaf.
Well,
the
which
yellow
band
band.
is that? The blue or the yellow?
That's a yellow.
It's
The yellow one. Yeah, the Adobe, it's a good one too. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, that's the blue
But
band.
yeah, that
Both of those are very nice.
it's an absolute chimney, man. That thing.
It is that.
Smoke.
It'll smoke you out of the house.
Yes. What's your day to go? Your daily driver. Your dream daily driver. Because I know you live in a place where it's too goddamn expensive.
Yeah.
You already know, don't we? And ever since I fell in love with it way back, of course, when luxury cigar reviewer John sent it over to me, and he sent me the blackened, the M81. That's always been my go-to, and it was a 3-year battle to see it come to the UK, and now it's in the UK. It's one of them that I always pick up, but I also enjoy, of course, Plasencia, and I'm a big Plasencia fan. As much as Matthew's an AJ fanboy, I'm a Plasencia fanboy, and Christoph cigars fanboy.
Yeah, I was about to say
and
Christoph too.
like Grumpy said, it's a matter of what you can get in your budget, and I shop around to see what I can get. I'll try new cigars when they're in the shop, and I'll go and pick them up. Like El Septimo, for instance, has just come in. There's some new My Fathers that are in at the moment that I want to try. So I'm always looking for that next cigar that's here. But of course, like Matthew said, the price point over here, like I spoke to you, Mike, and like I spoke to you, Kingpin, about, it's just crazy for a cigar when you look at the price point and you go, dang, how the hell am I still doing this hobby? And
Hey,
it's
guys,
not a
I have
hobby.
a question for you. I have a
Yeah,
question for you guys.
no,
What's the time frame that you usually get? States comes here. How long does it usually take to get to where you are?
So, depending on which importer, it can take a year. It can take up to 3 years for it to come. When you look at Perdomo have got a great rep over here and a great importer, but the 30th anniversary still not come out over here. Now, I've smoked the 30th anniversary. I smoked it with Matthew, smoked it, of course, with Grumpy, smoked it with John and a lot of the other guys who used to be, of course, on the Cigar Loons podcast, and we all smoked it together. And I enjoyed it. It wasn't what I would go and pick up all the time, because my favourite from Perdomo is the 20th anniversary Sungrown. I enjoyed that a lot.
Yeah.
But I was talking to Sam from GQ Tobacconists, who's, of course, one of the sponsors here and a good friend of mine, and he said, when do you think the 30th will come, guys? I'm like, well, if we haven't seen it now, I don't think we'll ever see it.
Yeah.
And what it is with the importers, they look at Cigar Aficionado, look at Half Wheel and different publications, and when they see that cigar that's got a 95 rating or 93 and it's got the best reviews going, that's the cigar they want to bring. They're not going and looking through the whole portfolio of that company and going, well, we'll bring this, we'll bring this, we'll bring that, we'll bring this. And I can go to room 101. They've got the Far cigars. That's all they've got here. They haven't got the Payback. They haven't got, of course, the Johnny Astronaut and that. That's all there is here. Karen Berger, of course, boutique. There's some of Karen Berger's core line. There's some of the Don Kiki, which, of course, is a husband that passed away. We've got some of them. And we've seen more boutique cigar companies coming to the market. But then you look at Medri Thierry, of course. Can't get Medri Thierry over here. You look at Stallone cigars. Can't get them over here. And certain ones that we've had on, it's like I really want to try them cigars, and I get jealous of what you guys can smoke over there. And luckily for me, the companies do send the cigars, and Matthew, of course, has got them sitting in the humidor ready to go over to my friend when he comes over to Kansas, and he's going to bring them back. There they are, and that will be even more full because I'll be putting some more in that I want. But yeah,
it's
and
a workaround, but it's just slow.
Yeah, it's whatever I can get my hands on, but my go-to to smoke all the time is going to be that blackened. I absolutely dig the blackened. I'm a big Metallica fan. Like, I'm wearing Metallica now, so there you go. If I'm wearing Metallica, I'm smoking a Metallica cigar. It's straight away.
All right. My next question, these guys are not going to be surprised by this question at all. I'm a big whiskey guy, spirits in general. I like to pair my cigars about 60% of the time with some sort of liquor. Mostly whiskey.
Oh shit!
100%.
100%.
No, I smoke in the morning too, man.
Fuck off, brother.
I smoke
Every time
plenty of cigars in the
every time
morning.
you post a picture, you've got a whiskey glass next to it.
That's because I smoke in the evening when I do that. We don't talk about anything else, Gaz.
He's letting it all out.
Sorry, brother.
Now, huh?
Jesus Christ. Anywho, like tonight, I'm pairing this Yagua, which is a pretty peppery, pretty spicy cigar. I'm pairing it with a barrel proof blended whiskey from actually made in, aged and bottled in Ohio here, called Whiskey War. It's a 119.65 proof. And it's fantastic, and it's going well with the cigar. Mike, we'll start. Well, actually, you know what, Kingpin, we'll start with you because I started with Mike on the last one. What's your go-to pairing? What do you like to grab? Like liquor or coffee or tea or whatever?
So, for me, I go Dr. Pepper Zero, just because it's the flavors for me. And then I'll go coffee with honey and ground cinnamon with a touch of cream in the morning.
Man, this guy has no wrong answers. I like it.
That's just me, man. And then when I go for like a spirit or anything like that, I'll go with Elijah Craig rye. Just because I'm more of a smoker than I am a drinker. But when I drink whiskey, and I'll drink either Uncle Nearest or like I said, Elijah Craig rye. What's the other one that I'm usually into? Damn it, I can't even think of it now. I done cleared my little whole thought process.
It's all right. That happens to me constantly.
But yeah, it's gonna be those. Like
yeah, man.
My absolute go-to is gonna be a Dr. Pepper.
I like the Dr. Pepper thing. I actually have Dr. Pepper Zero upstairs. I'm drinking a Pepsi Zero right now. Totally understand that. Mike?
Can I say anything wet? Maybe would that count? like have the whole board light up?
You're not putting much thought into it. You just want something.
No. I was doing it to see if I would get rejected on it, in which I did. So I was successfully answering that. I like a lot of Scotch.
Okay.
Johnny Walker's my go-to for that. But recently now, I've been getting into more of the bourbon and the whiskey. I've noticed
Okay.
it's going well with my palate smoking a cigar.
What's your what you say, Johnny Walker? Are you talking red or black?
Double black.
Okay, there we go. Okay,
I had the blue.
I was gonna be worried if you said red.
Well, red is just the handle. You bring out the red for the parties. You know, you
Yeah.
let them drink that. You know, you let them drink that while you got your own stash in the corner over there. You know, and you're holding out because but I've like 1792. I'm drinking.
That is great with a cigar. Actually, it's got a nice
I'm drinking Four
caramel
Roses.
brulee kind of situation going on.
I got Four Roses right now.
The single barrel, right?
Yes. Yep. I'm bring it back up.
Is that the 100 proof or? I can't see it. I can't read
This
it.
one, it doesn't say on the bottle.
Should say it on the front and bottom.
This says 50% alcohol on it.
Okay, so 100 proof, yeah.
So
That's the standard single barrel. That's a good bottle. A lot of people really like. There's a lot of people that would call that their favorite bourbon, and I'm fully behind that. It's not my favorite, but I understand.
I'm trying to, and King will laugh at this. I'm trying to get into coffee. Even my family the other night, and Gas kind of heard the story about this too. My daughter was like, "Oh, I'm going to Cali Coffee." You know, they've always been Starbucks drinkers. My wife kind of, brews her own black coffee and all that stuff in the mornings. And I just never really dabbled with coffee at all. I mean, a lot of the people I work with, they do like, the espresso and the all of the drinks and things like that. And I'm like, I don't need it. I wake up in the morning, I don't need it. I'm fine. But I just slowly started dabbling now more and more with coffee. But I got to find, and King was telling me, he was giving me some brews and things like that, certain ones, but just trying to figure out that right blend with that right stick. So now the journey has started all over. It started all over for me now, because now I'm like trying to pair to get the right coffee and and listen to people talking about the coffee and the right sticks. I'm like, damn. Once I thought I was there, now it's a whole nother lane that I got to now start getting into and start going up that lane. I'm like, shit, guys.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna make a cigar snob of you.
If you're doing it right, you never stop finding some new way to get nerdy about it.
You keep every time I think I'm at the ring. Next thing I look over behind it, it's like, damn, there's 10 more rings behind it. Shit.
Goddamn
But I gotta keep going.
There's a lot of companies though now, as we know, of course. Grouchy Monkey Cigars, for instance, they've got a coffee line. Honeybee Cigars, they've got a coffee line. A lot of these boutique cigar companies now are like, where's the next point that we can go? So they start making coffee to go with the cigars. And to me, I'd like to try it. I'd like to try their coffee with a cigar. And as me and Grumpy, because Grumpy's a coffee drinker. He's not a bourbon drinker no more, but he enjoys a good cup of coffee. And I like a good cup of coffee in the morning with a cigar. And one of mine is Kilimanjaro coffee. I can sit with that. It wakes me up in the morning. Nice, strong, bold cigar with that. And it wakes me up for the day. And I'm salty and I'm rocking and raring to go. I am. But sorry, Matthew, for putting
No,
you
you're
on there,
fine.
bro.
This is a conversation, man.
Yeah. What?
The one thing, with coffee, I drink so much bullshit coffee because where I work, they have one brand of coffee and that's it. So just like it is what it is, and I just drink it like it's the only thing keeping me alive. And I make pretty. Right now I've got 8 o'clock bean upstairs, which is like a little bit better than Folgers. You know what I mean? It's just like I do have a grinder, so I like to get whole beans and grind myself, but I just don't have that kind of time in the mornings and during the week. So I got to get up at like 6, get the kids out of the door, get them to schools, and I got to get my wife to work and then me to work. And it's like, fuck that. Just give me some caffeine. Like, but I do love an espresso. I do love a really nice cup of coffee made with I have a Chemex Chemex, pour over situation that I do on the weekends, or I'll make a espresso in one of those mocha pots. But like during the week, it's just whatever basic ass coffee I can shove down my throat. Um, I wish I could be picky about it, but I just don't want to. Well,
Hi, daughter.
Yeah.
I can see you.
hello,
That's my
daughter.
oldest.
Yes,
You're
daughter.
not my
Chloe.
daughter.
It is me.
Hello.
Not my
That's my
doctor,
eldest
but
daughter,
doctor.
Chloe.
I know who's
with us,
doctor.
checking us out.
Yeah, we're getting checked
My
out.
daughter don't ever watch.
Well, I got another one of them odd questions.
Do it.
And this will be to both of you. And I can't remember who I started with last time, but we'll start with Kingpin first. We'll put him on the spot. He's had time to think before. When you sit down to enjoy a cigar, nothing, just your own peaceful and quiet time, and you want to put on a little music, what's your favorite genre and artist? And what is your favorite way to listen to music? Do you prefer vinyl? Do you prefer, CDs, cassettes, streaming? Where you guys at? Favorite artist and genre, and favorite way to listen to it.
See, I'm a situational kind of guy. So I got music for every situation, right? So say it's raining out and it's dark gloom. It's just me and the dog here. I'm gonna smoke something. I'm gonna smoke something cool. Got a nice good flavor profile. I'm not a big spice guy, so it's gonna be a more flavor than
Right.
spice, right? And so I'm gonna put on Al Green's "How to Mend a Broken Heart," and I'm gonna put it on my vinyl record player that's right behind me next to my humidor.
Yep.
If I'm working,
Yeah.
I need a little something upbeat. I'm into Afro beats. I'm into house, some of the house music, and
Right.
I'm still stay in the same lane of like, if I want a more bolder smoke, I'm going with a San Andreas or a Corojo, and I'm grinding it out. I'm knocking out some stuff like Dominican flavors are Dominican cigars are like my work cigars because it has a unique flavor profile to it.
Yeah.
Like it burns clean, and then it has like this woody earth note to it, and like it does something with my mind where it clicks me back into focusing on what I'm doing.
Right.
Nicaraguan, I'm a smoke like real deep, rich, and it's gonna be smooth. Nicaraguan cigars are just more sweeter to me. And if I'm doing that, I'm in my garage. I'm a big garage smoker.
Right.
So I'm in the garage, and it really just depends on the mood, because I can go from rock to punk to pop to hip hop.
Yep.
If I'm working out, I got my hip hop going on. I got my rap music on.
Right.
I'm thugging it out. so I'm going hard in the paint.
Yeah.
So it really just depends on my mood for my music, because like if it's the situation, I don't want to say mood, because then like it'll fluctuate for moods, but
Right.
if I have a lady friend over here, I'm gonna play The Weeknd, because he's gonna sing to her, and he's gonna sing to her about doing some nasty stuff. So I want to get
Kingpin.
I wanted to get the point. So, hey,
Player's gonna play.
yeah. So
Yeah.
let it play, and I'm gonna smoke what I'm smoking, and we're gonna be cool how we being cool. So that's where I'm at with it, man.
I hear you, man. Who you doing, Mike?
I'm a situational kind of guy too, I guess you could say. I like to DJ. I don't have vinyl. I'm the newer generation where I got like everything's on digital, putting everything up. So I listen to a lot of music. It's almost to the point where sometimes a lot of the music all starts to sound the same because they start stealing each other's sounds. That it's either speed it up or slow it down, chop it up, or however you want to do it. But I always do religiously, since hanging out with my grandmother, and I think I told King and Gaz this. I do Sunday with Frank Sinatra. Religiously, I do Sunday with Frank Sinatra. I mean, we used to be Sid Marks used to be when I grew up in New Jersey. Sid Marks would play Sunday with Frank, and when I would help my grandmother out, she would always have that playing. And at first, I was like, "Grandma, what is?" Again, I'm younger guy. What is this? She was like, "Boy, just listen to it," and just listening to all his songs and the way he would carry. And it would get to a point where I was looking forward to it every Sunday, going over and helping her clean up the yard or do whatever. And I'm like, Grandma, turn the music up. Let's listen to little Frank Sinatra. So I always do Sunday with Frank religiously. Even though I'm doing yard work or everything like that, that's like my way of giving back to my grandma, even though she's not here with us anymore.
There you go.
But like, it depends, a lot of classic rock. I put on, people tease me because I put on the yacht rock station too. A little Blue Eye Soul. I put that on. I listen to a lot of, I listen to like a lot of the classics. You mentioned Al Green. I love all that. Like we talked about like the Jackson 5, or the Jacksons. Like I like, because again, a lot of the songs now, when you're hearing it, they're redoing it, and being able to teach my kid, the kids are watching the movie Sing, and she's singing, the elephant. I can't remember the character's name was, but she was singing the Stevie Wonder song.
Yeah.
Don't you worry about a thing. And I was like, oh, that's Stevie Wonder. And my daughter's like, no, it's not. It's this. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Stevie Wonder. And she's like, what? And and you slowly. I felt like I failed as a father. So I'm like, that's not Stevie Wonder, right? You start joking, and you're like, no, what do you mean that's not? And you let them hear it, and they're like, "Oh, okay," like that. And then there's times, and I'm driving my son, and we're going to sports or something like that, and putting on like Red Hot Chili Peppers, and it was Under the Bridge. It was Under the Bridge, and my son was like, "Dad, what is that?" I said, "Oh, you like that?" So I turned the volume up, started the song over again, and he started to fall in love with it. And then and he's getting to that age now where he can start listening to like NWA. Even though he was probably already listening to it, playing some of these video games. But having that experience with the music that you grew up with, letting them listen to it and them falling in love with that same music that you did. And Gaz, you were talking about that too. Once they get to that level where you're comfortable listening to some of that same music with them, it's great. Now, my daughters, I have two. I have my oldest, and then my son is the middle, and then my youngest daughter. When they start listening to some of this other music now, and they're like booty shaking and all this stuff, and I laugh because we all heard it, 2 Live Crew and all that stuff growing up, and it wasn't a problem. And when I seen it coming out of my daughter's mouth, I'm like, I was like cover my ears.
Yeah.
No, what are you doing? Like stuff like that. But I pretty much listen to everything because there's always a time for it.
Yeah.
And that's one thing about music, and with technology today, you can pretty much find anything you want. Whatever you got a mood for, whatever it's called, and then you'll listen to something. Like I said, I'll start out with Frank on Sunday, and after, all right, Frank, I did my piece with you. Now it's time to speed it up a little bit, and then we'll throw on some classic, some metal or something like that, just to kind of get that energy back up again to get to that level. So, and then when it comes to a cigar, my collections get pretty good now. Sometimes I just close my eyes and just fiddle around and just grab a stick. Because sometimes if I'm staring at it, I'm thinking too long.
Yeah.
Kingpin, you still there, my brother?
Yeah. You there, Kingpin? Where'd you go?
Cameras
might be having
gone.
some technical difficulties.
I wonder if
Maybe.
He might have been on his phone. Charge probably ran out.
Yeah.
That or you got a phone call. Sometimes that shit messes
everything
up.
Sometimes phone call will kick you.
Yeah.
I think there's
He'll come back.
There's a load of music there, isn't there? There's a load of music. It's like you grew up with what you listen to and what Matthew listens to and what I listen to. There's there's a hell of a lot. And
see,
I got
that's
back in. I got back into the vinyl, and I'll sit and I'll pull anything out from. Of course, at the moment, it's been Dionne Warwick. And listening to Dionne Warwick, I've got, of course, Elvis. I've got Johnny Cash. I've got Frank Sinatra. I've got some really old Frank Sinatra. I've got an original Frank Sinatra of an album that he changed it up, and Frank wasn't looking at the people dancing. He was looking the opposite way. I've got the original to that. And like I was saying to you, Mark, my daughter, not my youngest, but in the middle daughter, she's going to be 14 in November, and she's got into Blondie, Fleetwood Mac, and some of the music she listens to, and then it's like Sabrina Carpenter. And don't get me wrong, I don't mind Sabrina Carpenter, but then that makes me like an old pervert when I watch some of her videos when she's dancing around, and I'm like, oh dang, that's just a little bit too cliche for me to watch. As I said to you the other night, then I came in with that house tour video. Oh,
yeah,
brother, that looks a bit out there.
House tour. I was like, oh, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Didn't hear a word she said, but okay. All right.
But were you saying you watched it on mute? Is that what you're saying?
No. It was playing, but I didn't hear a word she said. The video was nice. I was like, the best point of that song at the end of the video, where she's got a cigar in her mouth, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to sit down and smoke a cigar with that woman. I'd like to sit and smoke a cigar with that woman. I wouldn't find out her music taste. But Grump, you've just asked the guys about their music taste, and I've just given my little example of some of the music that I'm into. What about you and Matthew with your music tastes, of course, and what you sit down when you're smoking a cigar? What's your music tastes?
Well, I mean, I'm no different than they are when it's that kind of situational thing. What are you in the mood for? Where's it? You out. And it's like, it's like my taste range, anywhere from the Woodstock era, Joe Walsh pre-Eagles with the James Gang, Eric Clapton with Cream, back when Free, before they became Bad Company, all the way through, even some of the Sinatra type music. I mean, I'm not a big classical fan, but I can listen to some of that for a while, depending on the mood. But yeah, it's mostly come through the classic rock, up through the outlaw country era, the 80s and 90s. And then there's really not much, from the 90s forward. There's really not been much made that, unless it's been something that one of the older bands has redone. But because there got to be too much electronics, too much techno, too much, things got taken out of. I think the talent or the skills of a lot of that got removed from the artist, and what they can actually do with an instrument without all the electronics hooked to it. That's why the 60s and the 70s and 80s rock and roll, that's why that's kind of where I resonate, because that's before all that stuff started coming in, and you had talented people with those instruments in their hand,
Well, you like Zeppelin as well. Zeppelin's one of your bands, and gospel,
Zeppelin, Skinner,
yeah, but
I got gospel. I got gospel favorites out the backside now. Yeah, grew up on all that.
There is.
But yeah,
what about you?
Those groups, they really know how to pick. Like,
who's that?
Those groups like Led Zeppelin, Clapton, even if we go to AC/DC and you go to like going to the Jimi Hendrix era and going into like The reason that I love Prince so much is because he really knows how to play. Like, and when I say they really know how to pick, they really know how to pick on that guitar.
I mean, you look at Jimi Hendrix. You know, not only was he left-handed, but he turned the guitar upside down to play it. He didn't restring it for left-handed. He just turned it upside down and went to work.
I was always going to say that. Nobody made him a left-handed guitar as great as this man was.
Exactly.
One person said, you know what?
Not one of them.
Make you a left-handed guitar.
Not one of them.
They existed already. He just chose not to use it.
Right.
I will say that right off the bat.
Learn how to play that way. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, so he's
he's a self-taught musician who was just an absolute innovator in rock and roll. Just that distorted sound that he was getting, it was only because he cranked it as loud as he could. Stood closer to the amp so he could get some feedback. I mean, he was incredible.
You look at that with him though. Even with Lemmy from Motorhead, Lemmy played his bass and he was right next to the amps, turned it up, and he didn't give a shit how loud it was because he wanted to hear it. He wanted them.
He wanted to feel it.
To really bump. He wanted to feel it. But the best one I ever saw with Prince was on YouTube, and it was him, Tom Petty.
The lead singer is ELO. It was the hard rock, right?
Yep.
That one?
Yep. When my heart gently bleeds, and dang, how he shredded that guitar was crazy.
Yeah.
And I absolutely love that song.
He's a fantastic guitar player. He really play.
He did some fantastic.
There's a lot of underrated.
There's
a lot of underrated guitar players, that you don't really view them as guitar players. I mean, freaking Rick James, super freak.
Yeah.
I mean, Rick James tear a guitar up, but nobody really, you don't think about him shredding on the guitar when you hear Rick James,
Nah.
It's like he's just freak, man, turn it loose. But there's so many that are underrated.
What about your music taste? And then I've got a great question for all of you.
Well, my music taste, I pretty much either go from, lately anyway, I'm either going from like rap, like Tech Nine, or somebody. I like the rappers that go real fast. Mm-hmm. So, a lot of those guys. I listen to a lot of really, really heavy metal, progressive metal. Meshuggah, like the stuff that a lot of people just think is noise, but it's like I know that they're just so technically gifted at their instruments that they're playing these crazy time signatures, and it sounds disjointed at times, but I just enjoy it because I understand the talent that it takes to play it. I'm a drummer, so I also tend to listen to bands that have really good drummers, like Avenged Sevenfold, or even if you go back to like back in the day, like Yes, the band Yes, their drummer was incredible. But then at the same time, like if I'm working around the house, I'm putting Grateful Dead on just working around the house, just chilling.
Because you're a drummer, who has the hardest job keeping rhythm, the drummer or the bass guitar?
Depends on how good the drummer is. If the drummer is good enough, the bass player has no problem. If the drummer has trouble keeping time, he's got to try to follow the bass player.
Yeah,
I play by feel anyway, so
Yeah, I was never super great at keeping awesome time, so I relied on my bass players a lot.
I just play by feel, man. It just
when we recorded, I often had a click track in my ears. But like when I did we did one recording where we had no click track, and we did one album. We recorded each song no click track. We recorded it all in one take. We did it actually at the studio where the Moody Blues recorded here in the Northern Ohio area. And that was probably the rawest, like, just best album I ever was on. Unfortunately, you can't find it anywhere because we never got anywhere and we could never get a name, but whatever. You know, that's my long past. But yeah, I love listening to good drummers play. I also love like really interesting stuff. Like there's this guy over in the UK called Ren, and he just has such a unique style. And he's all over the place. Oof. He has another band where they do like covers, and he did like this incredible cover of Bob Marley. I Shot the Sheriff is really really good. Like unbelievable. Like where he's playing on the guitar, and it's like holy crap, he can really play too. You know, and it's like
he's one of Anne's favorites. He's one of Anne's favorites.
Those bands that really just are unique. That's what I'm after. But again, like lots of screamy, heavy stuff too. So my one for all of you lot, and then I'll give my answer after. If you could have a dream band with singer, bassist, drummer, and also guitarist, who would it be? And I just want to put a quick shout out to the Leaf Cutters, because the Leaf Cutters are here. Here we go. Is Matthew old enough to smoke? Someone needs to ID him without the beard. Yeah, we know that, Gibbs. We know that one, my brother. We do. But yeah, it would be your ideal band, singer, bassist, well in my 40s,
guitarist, and drummer. Who would it be? The Grump.
Damn, you gotta fuck with us, first.
Man.
It would be yours. You know I'm gonna fuck with all of you. I always do.
Dang.
Hey, I gotta get a piece of paper, another cigar, because I gotta write names down, because that's a good one. Because I might be crossing somebody out.
Right.
All right, hang on.
Well, go on, Grump. It would be yours. You'd be your singer, drummer, bassist, and guitarist.
Oh man. I would kind of be torn between Paige and Ronnie Van Zant as far as my singer. Who did I say?
Paige, you said, and Robbie Vance, you said.
Well, I was talking. I'm talking about singers. I'm not talking about Paige singing. Plant.
So Robert Plant, yeah.
Between Plant and Van Zant for my singer.
Yep.
Can I only have one? I only get one guitar and my bass player and my drummer.
Now you're cheating. You're cheating now.
Well, I mean, you gotta have a lead and a rhythm.
One. You can only have one. You can only have one. One singer, one drummer, one bassist.
And it could be male or female, right? We're opening it up, right? We're opening it up.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, it's opened up. It's your band. If you'd have your own personal band.
Let me see here. Okay, we're gonna go out on the limb here. We're gonna go Ann Wilson from Heart as my singer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go with it, since I can only have a guitar player. I'm gonna go with Paige.
Yep.
I'll go with I'll go with Leon Wilkerson from Skinner for my bass player.
Yep.
And I'm gonna give the nod to Bonham from Zeppelin on my drums.
Yep. Great pick there. So, Kingpin.
It was hard between him and Pert, but you know.
Okay. So, I'm gonna put Prince at lead. I'm gonna put Slash on the bass.
Oh, you took him.
Man, Slash can play both. but I like Prince at lead, and I like
That's
Slash.
genius.
Yep.
And then I'm gonna put Flea on the drums, or Tommy Lee, or I have Questlove from Roots, or a Tribe Called Quest. Well,
Damn it.
Roots.
Mm-hmm.
So depending on the genre, so because genre matters, right? So genre, rhythm and blues, but he can play rock. I will go Questlove. But if I was going just straight rock, I would go Flea. High energy, tempo, unmatched. His cadence all over the place because he drove the Red Hot Chili Peppers songs. And then so that's my bass, my lead, my drums. What else am I missing? Oh, my vocalist.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yep.
Wait, time out. Can we have copy? Because I had Slash on mine, or I got to start from original. I got to cross them out and go with somebody else.
Yeah, you got to go with somebody else.
Oh,
It's cold right there.
You got to go with somebody else. You can't take
come
Slash.
on.
I'll take a Slash. So, fuck my vocalist. Man,
Yeah.
that's a hard one to narrow down because I like real high range and I like grungy at points. So who would I go with?
You got some great grunge singers when you think of it. Chris Cornell, you got Kurt Cobain. You got a lot of great grunge singers there.
Yeah. I like Kurt for to take me back to the garage punk rock teenage days.
Yep.
I like his music. I like him, man. You know, but he doesn't have a harmonizing range. He's very grungy and raw. Fuck, man. Because like I'm all across the board in between genres, so I'm like, who would be the one that could do it?
Yeah.
Like, who could be the one that would do it all for me? So damn it. I knew I was gonna mess up on the vocalist. I had my band already locked in when you asked the question.
It's a good thinking question. That's the thing. This is a good thinking question. It is.
Well, and the thing about it, I mean, we could do this 5 times over and come up and build 5 different bands.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the Leafcutters have said, I didn't know you were going to ask, but Amy Lee, Evanescence singer, Kirk Hammett, Metallica guitar, then he's got Prism bassist, and then Dave Grohl back on drums. So that's a great pick there from the Leafcutters. But a quick side note on Slash used to live in Stoke-on-Trent before he came over to America. So he used to live in my city, Slash did, when he was a kid, before he moved back to America.
All right, I'm going to go before somebody
still lives here.
Yeah.
Lincoln, hold on. Lincoln Park's lead singer.
Okay, you still waiting?
So my vocalist is going to be Lincoln Park's lead singer. He got enough grunge.
Chester Bennington.
Yeah, he has enough grunge, but he also has beautiful harmony to him.
Mm-hmm.
So his range is phenomenal. But that's some great
ones there, King. I'm going, mate. That's some great ones. Well, Mike, give us yours, Mike, before Matthew steals yours.
Yes, because I'm doing it now. Because as soon as he said Slash, I was like, shit. That's why I wanted to get a piece of paper because I knew I was going to cross through it. I'm going Whitney Houston as my singer.
Yeah, okay.
Because we can bring up anybody. Drummer, I'm picking Phil Collins because he could be a great singer, lead, and do backup if he needs to. Right?
Yep.
I was stuck because my second person for lead guitar was Stevie Ray Vaughan.
Oh, my Dallas native.
And that's
That
why I
would've been-
wanted to jump in there because it was between Stevie or Eddie Van Halen. I wanted to jump in there because I knew somebody was going to either steal it and I had to take them. And then for my bass, Bootsy Collins.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, okay.
Nice.
Because Bootsy could get that deep and go fast, go slow, whatever you do. But I think if they get that and pretty much all of them at one time had a sung lead of themselves. So anybody, they all can come up with an album, have each one of them covering being lead on the track.
Yeah.
Yep. Some great picks there, Mike. Matthew?
All right. Drummer, I'm going Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater.
Okay.
Just an incredible drummer. He also played with Avenged Sevenfold for one album.
Yep.
I'm going to go with Ryan Martini. He's the bass player from the band Mudvayne. Had an incredible sound. He could really... It's like, picture if Flea was in a heavy metal band.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? He should just lay down some ridiculous bass lines. I'm going modern, like really modern for the guitarist, lead guitar. I'm going with Wolfgang Van Halen.
Okay.
Guy is such an amazing musician. He literally records every instrument for their studio albums. And he learned so much from his dad. And, you know, if I was going to put a rhythm guitarist, I'd put the guy who I consider the best rhythm guitarist of all time, James Hetfield.
Okay.
But my singer, I'm going with Claudio Sanchez, and he's the lead singer of a band called Coheed and Cambria.
Okay. So
he's also in
my
a trip
singer
hop band that's really cool.
Yep. My singer, Sammy Hagar. I absolutely love Sammy Hagar. He'd be my singer. Bassist, Rob Chalilo. Of course, plays with Metallica. He used to play with Ozzy. Drummer, I'm going to go with Tom Aldred from Ozzy's original band, because he's a great drummer. And you want to see some of his recordings he's just done on YouTube where he replays his songs. Great drummer. My guitarist, I'm going to go with Zach Wilder, because I absolutely love what Zach Wilder does with that guitar and how he shreds it and how he gets on stage.
It's like a pattern here.
I noticed that too a little bit.
Similar pattern, but you know something. I came up with this years back, and it was originally my singer was going to be Phil Collins, my drummer was going to be Lars Ulrich, then my bassist was going to be. Who was going to be my bassist? It was going to be Flea, of course, on bass, because I do like Chili's. And then my guitarist was going to be, oh, fucking hell. And he's blind. And he also did the film, the original Roadhouse. So you know what I'm on about.
Jeff Healey.
Yep.
Jeff Healey.
Yes.
Yep, that's it. Jeff Healey. That's my original picks that I used to have as a band. And I thought that'd be a super band. It changes all the time, and this is the thing. You can come up with a dozen different dream bands with singers and guitarists and bassists and drummers. It's just crazy what you can come up with. There's so many. But I did ask, of course, Mike, and I asked Kingpin the other night about who would be their 5 that they'd love to sit and smoke a cigar with. So I'm going to ask him this again and see if it's changed. So 5 people alive or dead that you like to sit and smoke a cigar with, and see if it's changed from your original picks.
Better hang. It always will.
Is it on me? Is it on Mike?
I'm writing them down again. I'm trying to write them all down again because I know I had Frank Sinatra, Prince, Michael. I'm trying to remember else who I said. Oh, I said the Rat Pack. I said it was Sammy, Dean.
Yep.
Yeah, with Frank, and then it was Michael and Prince. Because I wanted to hang out with the Rat Pack just because the music and the stories you hear about how great of fun and the entertainment and how they lived it up in Vegas at that time. You know, every night was a party, pretty much. Or at least that's how they portrayed it to be. But every night was a good night. And then with Prince and Michael, the beautiful music they could have made together if they would have got along. I think they would have monopolized the 80s. You know, I think they literally would have took over everything in the 80s and put everybody to shame to stop making music if they would have got along, all because of that one car. What were we talking about, a King? Almost that car accident, right? Or try to hit him with the car.
Try to run him over with his car.
But I think that just those two, because that's what I grew up listening to in the 80s at that time, because that was, it was fun. That's what it was, doing the dances and all of the things, and always what Prince was going to wear every time you saw him doing a video. But it would have been just those two, just to figure out what really happened with them and why were they acting like that.
Yeah.
I've been a good leak there.
We've put this. Yeah, he thought about blues jazz lineup would be Billie Holiday singer, B.B. King on guitar, Louis Armstrong on trumpet, of course, Charlie Parker drums, and Venedine White, Earth and Wind Fire
yes.
Nice.
That'd work.
Nice.
He would have been my bassist if somebody would have picked Bootsy.
Nice.
Well,
nice.
I like that with what you just said, Mark, on your picks. So, Kingpin, your 5, my brother. See if yours has changed from your original.
Well, it's still Prince. That's my number one guy. It's gonna be Kobe. Just to get some of that Mamba mentality off, and Kanye West, just because he doesn't speak in like English. He speaks in like a cadence of music. How he talks it's like music. It's all over the place, and it's right on point at the same time. And then I had someone else. It was Prince. I changed to Kanye. I had Kobe.
Yep.
I'm still in one of yours, guys. Churchill.
I said
the infamous strategist. I'm taking Churchill. He knew how to galvanize the masses in a way to where it's like he knew he was here to serve and not to be served. And then he was a big cigar smoker. So those guys, and Bob Marley.
Yeah. Right.
Bob Marley.
That's new. That was new because you didn't mention Bob the other day, so that is new.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I didn't. Bob is definitely in my top because I'm in like thinking in a different construct. Like each person right now has a thought process of construct. They don't have a real basis for who they are. They construct things that they perceive, and they know how to make it into reality. Kobe, his mentality of like, well, I'm gonna win no matter how you slice it. There's a way for me to win.
Oh yeah.
Churchill, getting other people to buy into a greater cause than themselves, which was explicitly shown when he was when they were going to war at that time, and he actually served in the war. And then Prince, just because he really stood on his principles, in a matter-of-fact way of when it came to music, and understanding ownership. And Bob Marley, just ultimate revolutionary and history buff. So those conversations I feel will be really, really interesting to have.
Yeah, we just had a comment in from the Cigar Memoir. So he says Tatawahi. Oh, I can't even pronounce that. Veroku on the menu for tonight. Anyone smoking? So I'm just finishing off the blackened M81. Grump.
Fugazi, Cigar of the Year. Aging Room, Cuatro, Nicaragua. Yeah,
Matthew?
there you go.
I smoked the Yagua. It's gone for a bit.
Crooked.
Yep. And then we'll go down to Kingpin with what you're smoking, and then we'll go over to Mark with what you're smoking. So this is one we'll know what we're smoking.
I started out with SP 1014, the red band with Chico Rivas, and now I've moved to the Judge, my father's.
Damn.
Oh yes.
Ooh,
Oh yes.
You sneaky one.
You know what we call that? You know what we call that on the show when Matthew normally does that? Kingpin, you boozy bitch. You boozy bitch, my brother. You boozy bitch.
I'm uppity like
on
that.
me. Damn.
Earned the title for the night, did you?
One of my favorites.
I'm an expensive smoker. I'm one of those like I can tell the difference, but
Yeah.
like
Oh yeah,
a good stick.
it's very good.
Of course, Mark. Of course, Mark.
I was trying to keep it fair tonight. I already finished the CAO. CO. Damn it. The Camacho. I'm done.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm sitting here right now, ready to cut the Flathead 660.
Oh, you'll be there a while.
That's fine. I plan on going to make it a long night tonight. So
Yeah.
There you go.
Yep. There's nothing wrong with that. But Grump, Matthew.
Yes.
Of course, I remember your picks from a couple of years ago with your 5.
Oh,
I don't fucking
Let's see if
remember. How do you remember?
let's see if yours change.
I'll tell you now, mine changed.
Go on, then, brother.
Except for one bucket list item that hasn't changed and won't change. I still want to smoke one on the bus with Willie, see?
wow.
Because if I can get on the bus to have a cigar with Willie, see, I can pick his brain and I can get that knowledge of what it was like hanging with them guys like Waylon and Cash and
Yes.
I can pick his brain and see what it was like through those days. Of course,
What was their group called? When they did this, it was 4 of
the
them.
Highwaymen.
Highwayman. That's
The
it.
Highwayman.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. But now I would
My
still
favorite
like to
song,
have
Shelly.
I would still like to have a cigar with JFK.
Yep.
Now that we know the things we know about that period of time, I would like to sit down and have a cigar with him and pick his brain about just what all did he really know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll pair you.
What was Marilyn
I'm
Monroe
with
really
Frank.
like?
I'm with Frank, and you bring JFK, and all 4 of us would have a talk because we can
There
figure
you
out.
go.
We can figure out what really happened between those 2.
Yeah.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Exactly, man. I mean, there's all kinds of, all right, buddy. Leaf cutter's got to
Right,
run.
Stay safe, my brother. Much love to you.
Yeah, man. Take care. But yeah, that JFK and Willie. Oh man, there's just so many. Of course, I would really like to, and it would take a translator. But I would sit down. I would like to sit down and have a cigar with Gaddafi, if that was possible.
Mhm.
Because
Interesting.
because now that we know the things we know about him, and how he treated the people of that country, I'd like to sit down and have a talk with him about that. All kinds of foreign leaders that would be so interesting to sit down and have a conversation with. But to get back into the music or whatever, not necessarily the music, but back over into the other world of things. You've got your guys like Arnold and those guys, that are big cigar smokers. Any of those would be a pleasure. But I would still, and I know a lot of people, say they'd like to sit down and have a cigar with Jesus, but there's going to be all kinds of time for that.
Right.
I'm not worried about that. That day will come.
Matthew,
In my mind, anyway. But yeah, there's just
Matthew, what about your 5?
mine'll change every time you ask me.
Well, I
What
think
about your five, Matthew?
I don't have the slightest inkling who I picked last time, but I'm gonna tell you, I think probably the same as what I said then. James Hadfield.
Yep.
Still would love to sit and smoke an M81 with him.
Mm-hmm.
I would love to sit down and smoke actually with Joe Walsh. I've heard that he smokes cigars.
Yeah.
I would also love to sit and smoke a cigar, keeping in the music, but a completely different genre. George Strait, I've learned recently, is really into cigars, and I think I'd love to talk to him because that man has put out hit after hit after hit over like 3 decades.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know.
He was the most he was the most robbed musician in the industry.
Yes.
Seriously, you know. And then, you know, we got obviously Churchill because he's just famous for just what a way to live his life. He'd wake up, he'd drink scotch and smoke a cigar. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Just
Hard
his whole
life.
day was just centered around smoking cigars and finding out what the news was in the morning. He'd read the paper, he'd drink his scotch and soda, and he'd smoke a cigar. Then he would go eat some breakfast, and then he would, you know, just that would be yeah, exactly. It'd be a great day to see if I could hang. I probably couldn't. I'd probably be puking by noon. But it'd
You'd
be
be
fun
down
to
by
try.
lunch.
But you know, and then I guess number five is always a hard one because it's like, where do I want to go? Do I want to go? You know, I think the one person that I would just love to sit down and talk to, and you know, I don't know if he smoked cigars or not. I know he smoked some other stuff. I would love to just sit down and talk with Bob Marley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just what a
It wouldn't be a cigar.
exactly. Might be the
Zip it on.
size of a cigar.
Yeah.
Well, don't they call those they call those left-handed cigars, right? Is it?
Yeah, there you
Zip it
go.
on.
There you go.
Zip
You
it on.
could do some gardening,
Yes.
as they say nowadays.
Natural and holistic. Only way to go.
Which I mean, I did plenty of that back in the day too. Now I'm, I don't know, old and full of anxiety, and I can't. I know I don't look old with the no hair on my face, but it's
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
But yeah, I guess that's where I'm going at this point. Gaz
Yeah.
is taking a run
Yep.
somewhere
He's
again.
He's off camera. He's gone.
I had to get the boys' room. I had to go to
Yeah,
the
Of
see,
course
you
you
take
did.
them breaks. We ain't allowed to.
It is getting to be that time.
Well, you said you
I
did
haven't got
warn me. You're like, Mike, it's an hour, but hell, we might go to 2.
Yep.
So I was
Yep.
nursing my
I did
drink
say that.
because I didn't drink fast. Because I was drinking fast, I probably would have been like, guys, nature calls.
I ran
Well,
out
I
of
think-
soda, so
I
I had to switch to beer because that's all I got down here.
I think
was
my
choking.
five's changed because it's like my grandfather's always going to be on there. My grandfather's always going to be at the top because, like I say, he never knew I smoked. I kept it hidden away from him until the day he died. My grandmother found out. My mother found out. Of course, they caught me basically smoking. Well, my grandfather never knows, so he'd be my topping. I've changed from Aussie because Aussie was up there. I've changed from Aussie. I have.
Really?
So I'm gonna say now from Aussie, it's definitely gonna be. I want to sit down and smoke a cigar. I don't know if he would smoke a cigar, but you never know. It would be Lemmy to find out about Lemmy's upbringing in Stoke-on-Trent because Lemmy is from my home. He is from Stoke-on-Trent, so I'd like to sit down with Lemmy. Then I'm gonna say John Cena. Because I know John Cena smokes cigars. I'd like to find out about his wrestling career more, of where he started to now finishing and what his backup plan is. Because as we know, he's going to be the host of WrestleMania. Even though he said he was stepping away from wrestling, he's going to be the host. So John Cena. So that's 3. My 4th is going to be James Hetfield because Metallica fan. I like everything that Metallica have done so far. Okay. Some of these standpoints I don't agree on, some of them I do. But yeah, James Hetfield. In number 5, I've gone from Churchill. So number 5, I'm gonna go Johnny Cash. I like Sit Down with the Man in Black, Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
I would. I like Sit Down
nice.
with Johnny. Yeah.
Yeah,
And
that would
see
be
his
cool.
thought process of his last albums, of course, covering 9 Inch Nails with Hurt and Sit Down with Him. Because you know something, them last albums that he did before he passed, I absolutely dig. I dig his earlier stuff as well. I do. Man in Black, Folsom Prison, of course.
Boy Named Sue.
His
I
music.
hear the
And,
train roll.
yeah, Boy Named Sue. My name's Sue. How do you do? Now
That's
you're gonna
it.
die. Oh,
Boy
yeah.
Named Sue, man.
He made some brilliant songs. And when Grumpy said, of course, about Willie and talking with Willie, and of course talking about him with the Highwayman. My favorite song from the Highwayman is Silver Stallion. I absolutely love that song.
Mm-hmm.
And Dice in Her Eyes and yeah, all the rest. And oh yeah, that was a great song. But them are my picks. And this is the thing, it always changes. No matter where you are, people will go Sly Stallone, Arnie, they'll go with George Burns, they'll pick out, of course, Michael Jordan, they'll pick out different ones, but it's always changing. And this is the thing, sometimes you just change that pick.
Right.
Put that wild card in there because you know one of them that's going to be in that mix is going to be a wild card. Once the drink's flowing, the cigars are flowing, there's going to be a wild pick in there to have that night. But go on, Grump, sorry.
Oh, I was just gonna. I was sitting here thinking, and you was talking about throwing the wild cards in there. One that and it has a backstory to it. But if you've ever, the dude's a comedian. He's a young Korean gentleman. His name is Henry Cho.
Oh, I love that guy.
Yep.
Funny
I
as
don't
I'll
think he's
get
that
at.
young anymore, but
No, he's not that young anymore. But you know, he went to the same high school I did, and he was just like a couple of years behind me. I actually went to school with his older sister Susie.
Okay.
So when he tells the jokes about how he was a family failure because they expected him to be a doctor and all,
Yeah.
and he ended up being a stand-up comedian, I can relate to that because I know how intelligent his sister was. So I know what the expectations of his family. So when he starts cracking those jokes, man, he's hilarious. But if you've never, he's on all the. So just look up Henry Cho. Dude is
I think
hilarious.
my favorite bit of his was what was it? What's that clicking noise?
Yeah.
Well,
I have-
before
I have a
we
clicking
get
noise.
I have a question for you guys.
Yep, go on, Mike.
Yeah.
Why is it through history they always paint the cigar smoker as the villain?
I don't know.
That is that is a question that haunts me. I don't know, and I hate it because I love cigars, but I don't. want...
Al Pacino, of course, and Scarface.
I mean, everything, even in cartoons, and even in cartoons. I mean, even in music. Like, and you just brought up Johnny Cash. I bet they're riding in a car, smoking their fat cigars. You know, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's always painted as the cigar person is the villain. It's always the bad person, and I'm like,
nerdly in the cartoons.
yeah, you know, he's the villain, yeah, with his mustache going all, you know, and I'm like, why do they always pick the cigar person as the villain? I never seen.
I don't know.
Well, before we wrap it up, of course, Grumpy's just said his well pick. You've got wound one. See what Grumpy said? When the drink gets flowing, I start slurring.
Yeah,
He did say that. All right, but you can have one wild pick now. So who would be that one wild pick on yours? Me personally, I'm going to go with Exhibit because I know Exhibit does smoke cigars. That'd be my wild pick on mine. Would be Exhibit.
I'll do a callback to earlier in the episode. Sabrina Carpenter.
Mike Kingpin, who's going to be your one wild pick that you could have?
I'll pick Michael Jordan.
Okay.
Just because I want to pick and learn what he's doing with NASCAR also.
Yeah.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. That's a good one. I'm gonna take yours, guys. It'd be my granddad. He was a pipe smoker.
Yeah.
If I could sit down and smoke with him, it'd be my papa.
Yeah.
He was
Great picks.
Well,
I want
to, because like for me, like I got a lot of his traits, because he's Army vet, worked for Southwestern Bell, had a landscaping business, had a tax business, and a janitorial service while raising 7 kids. So I kind of want to smoke with him and just kind of pick his brain on how he managed everything, and did it all the things he wanted to do when he wanted to do it.
Yeah. I get that. I get that with your granddad, because my granddad, cigarette smoker, he worked making beer barrels for a living. Then he worked in the pot banks, which were all big, massive things where the pottery were. So he used to clean them out, refill them, and get in the most tiniest of gaps to take all that out. He worked on the hospitals as a maintenance fitter, fell through an hospital and cut his arm and did his neck and his back and stuff, which we found out later down the line it's degenerative. So basically, it's what I've got now. And a lot of the stuff that he did, and he came from a family of 12. So 12 kids from this side of the family, and some of the history there. And I've been finding out more, of course, like I said to the both of you, my uncle from Jamaica, what he thought of my uncle when he came from Jamaica, because my grandfather never really dived deep into my uncle and what he thought of my uncle. He wouldn't go to the same events family-wise that my uncle was at. And it's like, well, was my grandfather racist or was he not racist? But my cousins, he had a lot of time for my cousins. He just didn't have time for my uncle. Now, was that a family rift? I don't know. I've never really pried into it. But that's why I'd always pick my grandfather, because, like I said to you guys, he raised me from a very young age when my father left and was there until the day he died. Well, I just want to say a great big thank you to, of course, Kingpin. And I also want to put a great big thank you to Mike for joining us tonight on the podcast. And for anyone watching, please go and follow Kingpin at Kingpin Luxury K-Plux. And you can find him, of course, at Boss Talks on the Rooftop on Instagram. You can also find him on TikTok. So go and make sure to follow him, please. And go and give him a like, and go and give his podcast a like and subscribe as well. And go and find Mike at Distinguished Gentleman, my Ash, there on Instagram. You can also find him on TikTok, and go and give him a follow, please, because he's another great brother. And guys, thank you from me. Grumpy, Matthew, I'll pass it over to you before we pass it down to the guys, and then we'll totally wrap it up. We will.
I appreciate it, fellas. Cigar toast to
you guys. I'm about to start the
Yeah,
after
man.
party. Come join me.
Thank you guys for hanging out.
You know I'll be joining you.
It's been a great chat. I won't be joining the after party because I got to wake up at 6, but I will definitely see you guys online sometime soon. I do occasionally go live on Instagram or TikTok, but pretty rare. I'll be looking for you.
But from me, of
Ron?
course, it's stay smoky. Enjoy, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Matthew, finish off with yours, and then we'll finish off with Grump.
Don't start none. Won't be none. Check y'all next week.
Appreciate you fellas for joining us. Come back and see us anytime. I love y'all. Abba Father loves you too. But if you ain't driving the bus in 2026, you better stop and switch seats. We fixing to hit some potholes, and you ain't going to want to be driving. Catch me later.
And of course, next week, we are not live. We are off next week. We're having a week off, and we will be back on the 28th, where we are joined by another guest. So, I'm not going to release much about that guest, but we'll be back on the 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Pacific, 12 o'clock in England. So please come and join us then. But have a great time. Have a great week next week. We will no doubt catch you on Instagram one night. But we are having a week off from podcasting next week. So thank you. And yet again, Kingpin, and yet again, Mike, thank you for joining us. We'll catch you on the next one. Bye. See you later, everyone.
See you guys. Thank you.
From the depths of the internet, my podcast did arise. A trio of loons with cigars in their eyes. They've invaded the world with their smoky surprise. The Cigar Loons, they're oh so wise. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. With their witty banter and infectious glee, they've captured hearts, you see. They're more than just smokers, they're a family, united by cigars, a brotherhood free. Invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail. They've got the knowledge, the passion, the flair, a podcast powerhouse beyond compare. So light up a stogie and join the affair. The Cigar Loons are always there. Lunatic invaders of the cigar world, spreading smoke and laughter, their stories unfold. From the finest blends to the wildest tales, the Cigar Loons never fail to prevail.